Hey guys, this video, as you can tell from the title, is me reacting to Ethan's tattoo video. I did, some people already spotted that I did comment on that video saying I was going to react to it, because obviously people still interact with me about my last one that I did, because obviously I reacted to the Unus Annus piercing video, and a lot of people were kicking off at me because they hadn't actually watched the video and they just assumed that I was one of the ones that was like mocking them and being mean to them, and I was like, I was a subscriber to that channel before they deleted it. So, and I do follow Ethan's channel, Crankgameplays. I am subscribed to it. So I hadn't seen this, because I've been watching a lot of Game Grumps recently, and so I hadn't really been paying attention to my other subs, I will admit that. But my best friend Jenny was like, she sent me it through text and she went, I don't know if you've seen this yet, but you might want to take a look. And I just went, yes, I will. So I did watch it. I actually wasn't that like enraged by it. Obviously being now an ex-tattooist and piercer, I don't do it anymore because me personally, I found it boring after a while because of where I was living at the time. People just kept asking for the same stuff and I just got really fed up. So I have already watched this video briefly. I wasn't paying that much attention to it. I just sort of watched over it, said that I was gonna make a video about it, so I've kind of already forgotten most of it. So I'm gonna rewatch it now and just react to certain bits, because I'll cut most of it out in this video, to be fair, because obviously I can't upload the entire video of his anyway, because why would I? And that's copyright. So, you know, don't steal other people's stuff. Let's start with the first part of the video. And I don't know if you guys will see that part because, like I say, I'm just going to edit it down to the bits where I want to comment on. So, let's go.
LA, where I live, is currently on lockdown because of COVID, so I can't go out and get more tattoos. So I thought that I'd just do it myself. So I went on Amazon and I bought a tattoo gun. So today, I'm gonna be giving myself a tattoo. I'm joking, I'm not. I bought a fake face.
Okay. That part cracks me up. I bought a fake face. Okay. That's something that's, I don't think I've ever heard anybody else say. I didn't even know you could get those. I don't remember those being a thing when I was training. It was a long time ago though. One thing obviously that he said already is that everyone is on lockdown, obviously, so stuff like tattoos and stuff like that, even though it's like the cleanest place you could go, it's very similar to a hospital. Obviously they're like, no, still can't do it because it's, you know, it's not a necessity, which is fair enough. It's gutting for a lot of people, and I know a lot of my friends, obviously, because I know quite a few people still in the industry, are suffering because all of that kind of thing is shut down and they don't make any money while they're not working, which sucks. But yeah, the fact that he said that he just got that off of Amazon, it's a little bit worrying. I didn't know that you could do that, to be honest.
I'm not actually tattooing myself. Unless you know what you're doing, you should probably not tattoo yourself either. That being said, I did buy a tattoo gun. It was way less expensive than I thought it would be. Also, hey, what's good? All in all, I think this ran me about like $135. Obviously, this is probably a shitty tattoo gun. I should also probably be extreme.
Yeah, a couple of things there. He says that obviously you shouldn't be tattooing yourself, which is very true. You should not be tattooing yourself or your friends. It's not the easiest of things to do anyway. When you're training, you can tattoo yourself, obviously in a controlled environment, as part of your training, because there's no better way to learn than actually tattooing real skin. There just isn't. But yeah, like he says, you shouldn't do that because it's not easy. It's not the best thing to do. um, Again, I'm really surprised that like you can just get that stuff on Amazon, but whatever. Back when I was training, I'm pretty sure you could only buy that stuff through actual websites, and you had to have proof of your license before you could get it. Maybe I'm wrong, but the fact that he said that the machine wasn't that expensive and it was like $100 and something, which is roughly the same, roughly in pounds. It tells me that he's bought an old school one, maybe, that you have to assemble. Because when I was doing it, I had to save up for so long for my own equipment. And we had I think it was Neo Tat or something. Oh, God, I can't even remember. I've still got it. But they were like, they were seen as like quite new and crazy cool and all this kind of stuff, but they were like just these little machines that were all inside, like ready to go. You just attach your grip and your needle and it's ready. I would say he's bought an old school coil machine that you have to assemble, and it's a little bit janky in my opinion. I did not like those ones. I trained on those ones. I hated them. They're bulky, they're heavy, the weight isn't distributed properly. Obviously, you need elastic bands and stuff sometimes to hold stuff in place. I just, no.
On here, it's numbered, but the bags themselves aren't numbered, so I just have to go with what my eyeballs are seeing, and they're not seeing a whole lot. Now we take a tattoo needle. So this is where I need to be a little bit more careful. So this part doesn't matter. I'm sure I'm doing this extremely wrong because these need to stay sterile. But here's the thing, guys, is
Yeah. So yeah, he's definitely bought one of those machines that I mentioned earlier, where you have to put it together. It won't be numbered. It's not a piece of IKEA furniture. Ethan, Eefy, it's not a piece of IKEA furniture. Why would it be numbered? Because obviously by that point, professionals are teaching you how to put these things together and how they work, not an instruction manual. They're not meant for people that don't do this for a living, obviously. So yeah. As he says about sterilization, they do come in pre-sterilized packets, but it's up to you if you want to redo that and put them in the autoclave, because sometimes you just don't know to be sure. But like I say, if you get it from a reputable place, like it shouldn't be an issue. They should be ready to go. But yeah, it's kind of a worry that he's like gonna have to assemble this thing, so we'll see how that goes.
community, dude. I mean, I'm not actually tattooing a person, so is it really that bad?
It is bad.
Because I'm using my influence to say, hey, other people, go do this at home.
Don't do this.
Should I make this?
Don't do this at home. Like he says. Exactly. It's kind of bad that he's using his influence and but at the same time he is saying don't do this at home. So, and I did say that with the piercing video as well. Like Ethan did say, I'm not being like I'm not favoriting him or anything like that. Like I'm not being, a favoritist. I'm not, okay? But he did say in that video that you should not like pierce at home. He did say that. It was Mark that said we can't say that. They can if they want. No. Should have just listened to Ethan. So I'm glad that this time he is again saying like just don't. Because yeah, you really should not be tattooing people like at all at home. Like just don't do it. It's not a good idea.
To make it known that I did strictly buy this for this video. I'm not gonna go around tattooing many of my friends. Tattoos, if not performed correctly, can get infected. A bad tattoo could kill you. This is on the...
That is true. If you react badly to a tattoo or you get a real bad infection, like you can get certain types of blood poisoning and all kinds. So you need to be so careful that you go to a professional. A lot of people that do them at home, even if they do have all of this equipment, which you still don't know if you're doing it right, and you can still cause a lot of issue. Like, there's a lot of things that people just don't think about when they're doing this kind of stuff, and you need to be aware of all of it to not injure someone or give them an infection. Next one. Okay, right, so now he's trying out the equipment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm using the right thing.
He, when he was putting it together, another thing that I forgot to mention is that he obviously doesn't know what he's doing. So stuff like not knowing what kind of grip to use and what kind of needle to use was an issue. So I have no idea what he's put in that machine. It kind of looked like the way it was coming out. I mean, it's hard to tell because he dipped a lot of ink on that for some reason, and he's not dabbing it off or anything. But it did kind of look like he was using a shader, which you shouldn't use for an outline. He probably is using the wrong thing, as he calls it. That would be grip, and that would be needle. That's what he actually means.
Is that I think I fucking goofed it, dude.
Ah, I did goof it.
Because these, I think, are used to... Oh, this is not good. Is that...
Oh, wow. Eefy boy. Yeah. I think he realized that he was using the wrong stuff, but also he doesn't even realize that, like, he should be using some kind of solution when he wipes off the ink. So every time he wipes it, he's using a dry, like, piece of kitchen towel, it looks like. Can you imagine that? If you were actually getting a tattoo. He's been tattooed, so he should know that, like, using a dry paper towel or whatever on that it would just make it so sore. But also, it is just literally just gonna spread it around. You need it to be soaked up in something. Obviously, something like a proper solution like we use, which is like usually it's kind of a soapy water usually. But yeah, that's why when he wiped it, it just made a mess.
Great so far. Well, did I set it up right?
Oh, I love him so much. Just smudges it and he's like, well, yeah, again, you need some lubricant on it, you know? But yeah, that's what you're doing wrong, my sweet. That is what you're doing wrong.
Something dumb, guys. Can you believe that? I was using a shading thing. I need to be using this, which is for a single needle. Okay, I think I've got this where I want it now. So
Exactly. Again, he switched the needle for a liner, but he did not switch his grip. So that means that that needle is now just going crazy in this wide space that it has because the grip is built for shader needles. And they vary in shapes and sizes, obviously, depending on what you're going to do. So, you know, he needs one specifically for a single liner needle because otherwise it is going to move around, like I say. He has figured that out, but it took him a minute. But it's little things like that that are so important that people just don't know. It can mess everything up. Tattooing on these like fake skin things and like the silicone, it is not the same as tattooing a person anyway. It's just not. Like, it's really hard to replicate that with anything synthetic. Like, it just is. Like, they're great, but it's not the same. So he's finding it difficult on there. Like, you can imagine what human skin is like.
so difficult. Literally, I mean, I know it's years and years and years and years and years of practice, but literally, how do fucking tattoo I mean, I might not have my tattoo machine set up correctly, so that might be a large part of it, but how does anybody get a straight fucking line?
Yeah. He was doing it freehand. That takes years of practice, and even then, it's risky business. It's a risky business. My first ever tattoo I hate was this one, the middle part, not the clouds. This guy did this freehand. and he still sketched it out first, you know? It's probably a good idea to sketch out your design first. The line work is very shaky, obviously. I think that's to do with his setup, because again, like, I don't know how far out he pushed his needles. You need to be so careful with that as well, because if you have them out too far, like, it's gonna cause problems. It's gonna, like, scar the skin. If you have them in too far, again, which it kind of looked like he did have them in too far, but it's hard to tell, again, from that angle and what he's doing. I would say that when he wipes that off, it's not going to be in it, because it didn't look like he had them out far enough. Like, you need to make sure that you have them out, like, at the right measurement. But yeah, it was very shaky, and I would say that's probably why.
As far as art goes, doing art on somebody's body with a tattoo gun has got to be one of, if not the most difficult forms of art out there. It is so shaky, it's impossible.
I don't know why people call them tattoo guns. It's a pet peeve of mine. I don't like it when people call them tattoo guns, because they're not guns. In what world is that a gun? I don't understand. It's a tattoo machine, my baby. It's a tattoo machine, okay? And yes, it is a lot harder to tattoo a human being, because they move, their skin moves, you have to stretch it in the right way, you have to figure out where you're placing it, you've got muscles under the skin, you've got skin texture to think about, you know, because skin can snag sometimes. Obviously, when you've been doing it for a long time, like, the skin can start to react to it and reject it. You have to be able to combat all these things, and that does not teach you any of that. So he's finding it hard with that. You can imagine what it's like. It's not easy.
I don't know how people actually do this. I do love tattoos. I plan on getting a ton more tattoos, but if you're a tattoo artist, I have so much respect for you. How the hell do you do this?
Thank you. Yeah. It's difficult. Thank you for saying that, like, you respect us. That's cool. You know, a lot of people don't really think about how hard it is. They think because they can draw or whatever, like, oh yeah, it's just tracing, it's so easy. It's not that easy. If it was, we'd all be doing it, wouldn't we?
Please don't do this. Don't go off and tattoo your friends. That's fucking dumb. Go to a tattoo shop if you want to get a tattoo.
Exactly. Do not do that yourself. Because, you know, just because it's available on Amazon or whatever does not mean that you should buy it and just practice and think that, you know, because you can do it on silicone, that you can tattoo your friends or yourself. Do not recommend. It is not a good idea. If you want a tattoo, like you said, go to a tattoo artist. If you want to train, like, just ask. That's what I did. You know, I was lucky that where I worked, they were just looking for, you know, like a Saturday girl, person, whatever, just to help out with, like, cleaning up, reception work, that kind of thing. And I was like, hell yeah, I want to do that. And then after a while, I was like, look, with my spare time, would one of you guys mind training me up? And I was really lucky that they did that for me. And yeah, it was the most fun 3 years of my life, to be fair. It was a cool little group of us. There was only 3 of us. Sorry, dude. And yeah, we just had a lot of fun, and I loved it. You know, tattooing, piercing, it was good, but it got really boring, like I say. So, but I was lucky enough to be able to do it. Like I said, if you're gonna do it properly, get trained on it. You know, it will take you years, but if you really want to do it, it is worth it, because you could earn a lot of money, you know, because as a good artist, you can charge a lot, because at the end of the day, that's your time, your artwork that you're putting on someone, you know, and people can moan about the prices. The work speaks for itself. At the end of the day, the cheaper the tattoo, you're going to want it covered up at some point, because it's not going to be very good. It could scar you. Would not recommend. you know, but they charge a lot, we charge a lot because it's on your body forever, you know, you've literally got an art piece on your body, and that took us time and effort, you know, and especially at times like this when we don't have any work, like, we don't get any help with that, you know. I say we, I don't do it anymore, but they don't get any help with that, you know. If their shop's shut, they're shut. They're working for themselves. They have to be able to pay their bills. So to you, it seems like a lot of money, but they've just spent an entire day doing that for you. Like, come on. They deserve to get paid for that, you know? So yeah, anyway. That's my reaction to it. Overall, it wasn't that bad. Like, you know, he did say, like, don't do this at home or whatever. I agree, because if you're gonna get that stuff, usually it's because you want to practice doing it on a real person, and I do not recommend doing that. Really don't. He did say that he's not going to use it other than that. Like, he just bought it for the video, just for, like, to see and just to experience it. But I know a lot of people that will not do that and will do it to tattoo their friends because they think it's such a good idea and that they could totally do it. No. Do not recommend. Kind of amazed that Amazon sell those, to be honest, because that's just asking for trouble. Because someone could just buy that and just be like, yeah, I'm a tattooist. No, you're not. You should have a license for that. You need training for that. You know? God, this is so bad. And it's like, even him doing that, if he did, even if he tattooed himself, you know, you need to have a clinical waste bin because you're gonna be having blood all over something, and then what, you're just gonna put that in your household waste, you know? What? And as well, like, even though he didn't tattoo a person, what did he do with the needles when he finished with it? You know, you need to have a sharps bin, otherwise you're just putting that in the normal trash, and then some poor garbage man, as you Americans call it, rubbish man, is going to pick that up and potentially hurt himself on it. It's not cool, you know, so you need to be so careful. Yeah, that's just some things that I needed to say about that video, but overall, I'm not hating on him, obviously, because I love him. He's my favourite, well, one of my favourites. He did a good job, you know, for his first time. He did say don't do it. Can't really ask more than that. He did it on the basis that he's doing it so you don't have to, you know, if you ever wondered what it would be like. He did say it was difficult, which it is, so hopefully that puts some people off, but probably not for everyone. But, you know, not bad, not bad. Made some mistakes, some schoolboy errors, but what do you expect, you know? What do you expect? So, yeah, I'm just glad that he didn't tattoo himself. I'm glad that he didn't tell people to tattoo themselves or to buy it, you know. So overall, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. I still love you, Eve. I still love you. So yes, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe. Hopefully people that have come to this video that love him so much, like last time, don't hate on me for making a video about it and actually watch it. Because I've not said anything hateful, because I love him, you know. I'm subscribed to him. I am a subscriber. So yeah, actually watch my video before you comment. Hopefully you learned something from this. Hopefully. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll see you guys later.